Hiya gang! We're just warming up with the rhododendrons. I said they would come out and they have. Look how pretty they are. This is what happens sadly when people put things in the woods. But in this case, the seeds have germinated and they have grown into some beautiful plants and flowers. Now the dogs are barking an awful lot because we're quite near. I know, because we're quite near the beginning of a walk. They like to tell all their friends all about it and tell them, we're out, come on, get your owners, get them out. They're also telling me to hurry up. Scout really wants to go out fast and get going. If you notice Scout's tail, it just goes in circles. Here he is, telling Cosmo to hurry on. I am purposely going quite slow when they don't want to. They want to go a little bit faster. So let's go a little bit faster. Off we go, puppers! Oh, that was a little stick, isn't it? That stopped Scout barking. Cosmo's having a sniff because a lot of his friends will pass this way. It's one of those points where lots of people will pass on different parts of the walk. In this picture you can't see any dogs. But here's Cosmo and here's Scout. By now you know that Scout always comes back to check that we are okay. And he likes to know who's where and who's doing what. That's both of them have left a little bit of scent for their friends coming past. They have lots of friends in the village, but because we're walking at different times to when we normally would, to avoid meeting too many people, they're not meeting them as often. So it's a wonderful system for dogs to feel connected with their friends through all their scents. Because normally we would have met at least 3 friends by now on this part of the walk. But we're choosing a different time of day. It is evening in this one, and you can just see the evening light coming through. And if you've been watching some of our previous videos, you'll know that the sun sets in the west. So if the sun is shining from over that direction, then that direction is west. So if west is over here, that is east. And you can see that's my shadow. We're now walking kinda south, slightly southeast, but that's too complicated a compass point, so we'll just say south. We've come to a fork in the path here, so we know a fork is a fancy way of saying we're at a place where we have to make a decision. So we can either go down here past the wild garlic or along here and on the road. I think we'll go this way with Scout. Scout's decided he wants to go this way. We'll go this way. I don't think we've walked this way for a little bit, since probably last weekend. So it's nice to do parts and join up different parts of walking. How beautiful is this? Come on. Come on. Here we come. Dogs are just gone for a sniff in the bushes and back out again. Now, we have 3 possible routes here. We can go left, we can go right. Technically 4 routes actually, because we could go straight on or we could go down the slope. In you come, boys, come on. Hello. I think I'm getting the feeling Cosmo wants to go down there, but Scout, we'll go with Scout this time. Come on. I know it's the same route. He doesn't really like the stairs now, so he's decided he's quite happy coming down the slope. This is that big slope that if it's wet, you can see it can get quite slippy. But we're going to go down slowly. And it looks like we have 2 choices, but we really only got this choice because that choice leads back up to the steps where we've just been before. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go this way and walk along this way. Look at lovely buttercups. That's the name for those little yellow plants. Buttercups. They do like it quite damp, so it's quite damp down there. Sometimes you can tell what the land is like underneath a whole bunch of vegetation, because when you learn all about plants, you know certain things about plants and what they like and what they don't like. So you can often work out what it's like, and we know that's got lots of little bits of water in it because there's buttercups there. Here is the burn again. This burn is not the one that we go burn walking in. This is the muddy one, do you remember? Where it just all gets clogged up with mud. And it's not moving today because it can't get out to the river. Simply because the river is going too fast to let it out. You think it would, but no. It's blocked it out. So it's just still. It's like a little pond today. Looks very pretty. All the green makes everything look so happy and colourful and bright. There's Scout away exploring in amongst the trees that the farmer put up to help his land against the water coming off the burn in the river. I bet you if you had a camera here all day, the reason they're there is probably because one of their friends went up there and left their scent. Dogs can they can smell so many things much faster and quicker than we can. They've got really excellent noses to be able to smell food miles away, and they can smell me. They know I'm coming home before I'm hardly near the house. So they'll be able to tell if their friends have been along different places along this path. Hello, Scout. Thank you for looking after us. Now we'll be coming up to a turning point. Can you remember this yellow flower? There's this one. That's kind of like a daisy, isn't it? A big daisy. But this one we discovered the other day, this big bright yellow one. It's the one with a really boring name. It's called a broom. Not the broom you sweep with, or the room on a broom story, but a broom as in a plant. Even the trees got flowers on it. They're so beautiful. I know, that's Scout saying I'm making up my mind where I want to go. Where are we going to today? Oh, we'll go this way. Okay. This is the brown bridge that we love to go on. But we cannot sit on the bench that we normally go to because somebody is already there. So we're going to keep walking by and we'll find another spot to go to. Wow, here's some more pink flowers. These are so pretty. Oh, that's the dog that's at that bench going, "Hello, I want to talk to you." But we're just walking on. It seems the rain we've had the last few days has brought out the flowers again. How pretty are all they? Now, there's the sun trying to get us, and that's from the west because it's in the evening. So the sun rises or sets in the west. So it's on our left hand side while we're walking. So it means we're walking north. And we can double check that because we're next to the River Tay. And can you see it flowing all the way down there? We know the River Tay flows north to south at this part of the River Tay. You can see it looks much brighter on the water. It's still a dark colour, but there's lots of highlights. That's because it's kind of all peppery, the clouds. Can you see it's not like big blocks of cloud over there? There's lots of little gaps. So there's lots of sunlight getting through, causing this to look different. And that's lovely, isn't it? Do you remember yesterday I said that when you walk along in different weathers, you can see the same thing almost looking slightly differently because it reflects what it sees or what's happening above and around it. I think today we might have a look at walking towards the big pipe, but I've got a funny feeling we won't see much of the pipe today, simply because, do you remember, the River Tay is very, very full. It's even fuller than it was yesterday. So I think it will probably fairly well cover the pipe. You can almost see the pipe from here. If you watch my finger, can you see it there, that little line? That's just the top of the pipe showing through. I suspect there won't be that much wildlife on the water because it is going very, very fast. So I don't know if we'll see much today. But what we'll do is we'll just come out for our virtual walk together, focusing on the puppers. What's he found there? Come on then. And we'll have a good look at the river, which is always lovely to look at. See how beautifully dark blue that water is? That's fantastic. You were quite high up, a bit of banking down there. And the water's getting a little bit of a jiggle around because of those rocks here. And it's causing a little line there, some rocks underneath the water, which is causing it to bubble up and go back on itself. And this little bit here, if it was fishing weather, which it's not, it's just too fast a water, the fish would be sheltered here. It would just be sheltered just about here. And the fishermen call this, can you see the little swirls? They call this an eddy. Not to be confused with Edward, it's just called an eddy. I have no idea where that name came from, but basically the water is kind of swirling down and then it comes back here and it's slow. So fish that are in the water who are a bit tired will try and find an eddy to get a little bit of relaxation and rest. Because fish mainly swim against the flow of the water. So if the water's going really fast, actually, if I pull out, you can see how fast the water is because somebody has actually polluted the water by putting a jar in. But in this case, we can use that to almost judge how fast the water's going. So at least it's had some use, but I don't recommend throwing things in the water. Now we're coming up and we're going to continue walking to the pipe. Hello, and we're avoiding people. Hello. And we'll head down this way and you can see what we're going to see. There are some people going in the other direction. That's the noise you hear behind, but I haven't put them on video because it's too difficult unless they're very happy to appear on video. I kept my social distance from them. Do you remember? 2 arm lengths away. Oops. But luckily they're going in the opposite direction to me. They're going where, oh, looks like Scout has had a sneaky dip. Must have been feeling warm today. Now, can you see the line that's in the centre of the screen? That is the pipe. That is all we can see on the pipe. Now that means that the pipe is very much underwater. I would say, oh gosh, if we're talking fractions, maybe 9/10 or 90% under the water. It's just a tiny bit above. Oh, Cosmo's chosen the high path. Should we go on the high path with Cosmo? Okay. We'll go up on this path today. I know, you wanted us to, didn't you? Now this is where, as I've only got 2 feet, I have to try and scrabble along all these paths that have just been worn down with people walking on them. It's kind of fun, but you still need to be careful and always come out with an adult, a responsible adult, when you're near water. So you can see how close we are to it. It's not much distance at all, is there? Oh, there's some more flowers. It's so beautiful and the colour is fantastic today, isn't it? And it's tiny little blue ones. And there's a crop of white. And there's our broom. There's another broom there. It really doesn't look like a sweeping broom, does it? I wonder where it got its name, why it got its name called broom. But there we go. Come on, puppers. Let's go. I think you will be able to see the barn, but this is not a barn walking day. We know that without even seeing it. Simply because we know the river is so high. This one is a bigger barn than the big muddy one. So it will be backed up, but it won't be shallow backed up. It will be having a lot more water in it. That is a weir over there. Do you remember the place where we have a big funny door that goes up and down and lets water in or keeps it out of the River Tay? I think today they'll be thinking about maybe keeping it down to keep the river level lower, unless of course the fields start to flood, and then they might have to let some in. So it's a decision that needs to be reviewed each day to see what they're going to do. Puppies are enjoying their bank walk today. They enjoy smelling all these wonderful flowers and all their friends. This is a very popular walk with them and their friends. Oh, we've got more of these. Shall we have a go? I can't blow because I'm behind the camera, but what I can do is just give it a little go. And then we can spread the seeds. The wind would do that on a really windy day. So we've just helped the wind spread the seeds. I know, Scout. We're nearly there. There's some more, but I'll leave them for someone else or the wind to look after. Whew, that was a little bit unsteady there. Always got to be aware of what we're doing. Right, can you see that line now? That line is the pipe that we were walking on before, or the one, if you've seen the other video, the one with the swans on it before. You can just see it because it's just causing a tiny lift in the water. There's no way we would stand on that today. It looks like it's just going over the top, but the speed of that water, do you remember the bottle that we saw going past, the orange bottle? You can tell that the water's going quite fast today. So we do not want to risk our safety by going out on a pipe when the water's this high. It's just not right. Out! Come on! Come on! Up! Up! Scout's going for a little drink. Hit the water. But I don't like that spot there. It is another eddy. Do you remember the eddy where the water comes over something but there's a quiet bit? Can you see the circle? There's the circle. There'll be some fish in there, but we'll let the birds get that today. It's a Sunday. We're not fishing on a Sunday anyway. On other days we can see all the stones. Not today. No stones at all. You cannot see them. They're all covered in water. So the safest thing for me to do is to tackle the gnarly path made from the roots. There's a bird making an awful lot of noise, but I can't quite catch on camera because it's going so fast. I was checking, if you ever hear a bird squeaking near you, or squirking, quack, quack, you could be Cosmo. That was not too safe. I'm glad you got out. Come on. He wasn't being safe today. He is a strong swimmer, but we don't want to risk that. As I was saying, birds that are squawking close to you, always be careful in case they've got babies' eggs nearby and they're trying to protect them. Now, recognise that? That's the burn. You can't even see anything yet. All the stones and stuff are covered. This is definitely not a good day for burn walking for children, or adults really. It would be really hard going. Now, as you can see, it looks like the water's going up the burn. But what it's doing is the water is trying so hard to come down that way, but the River Tay is coming down with such force that way that it's pushing it back. Just like it does with the muddy burn, but there's an awful lot more water here. So it's backing, as though it's backing it up. So this water will be quite high, quite a bit up the river. I would say, if I had to guess it, that's probably at least my waist or chest height in the depth. So we definitely would not be going down that, because you couldn't keep your feet on the ground. You'd be floating, and you'd be probably not as bad as going in the River Tay, but I still wouldn't risk it, because you don't know what debris has been floating down the river that you might get your foot stuck on. What we'll do is we'll continue to walk, and we'll come up this way. Now, there is a fancy word for this, but it's usually when it gets even more water. It's called a river in spate. A river in spate. And that's just I think that's maybe a local word for when the river is quite full and beginning to flood. But it's not flooding yet. It's just quite a lot of water in it today. I'll let you see the burn through the trees as we begin to approach the steps. Now we're going to count the steps, and after we've done the steps we'll probably say goodbye. Okay, Cosmo's eating a bit of stick. So Cosmo, shall we go up the steps? Come on then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, there's Cosmo, Scout. Cosmo, come on. And Cosmo. So we'll say goodbye. Goodbye everyone. Hope you enjoyed that walk. Bye.